Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Richard.
And I'm Sid! And we're a team of UFO researchers specializing in alien activity in military bases, UFO sightings, alien encounters, and all things alien related. And in this video, we'll be discussing Area 51 and its almighty secrets.
To start things off, for those of you that are new to the subject of ufology, we'll give you some history into the now infamous military base and some of the rumors and speculations surrounding the base. First time Area 51 really became famous was in 1989 when Bob Lazar, this guy, a man claiming to be a theoretical physicist, came out and claimed that he had worked on reverse engineering alien technology at a secret part of Area 51 called S4. Since then, the base has been in the public eye and has become one of the most speculated on locations in history in regards to the government's involvement with UFOs and aliens. We personally don't believe Bob Lazar's story, and most researchers in this field don't. Bob Lazar claimed to have multiple master's degrees from MIT and Caltech, but when his credentials were investigated, researchers were unable to find any evidence that he had ever attended the schools, let alone received such highly regarded degrees.
There's also no evidence that Bob was ever actually a government employee, and for these reasons, plus with a name like Bob, let's not believe his bullshit. He was also involved in a prostitution ring in the 90s and was arrested on felony charges for it. He was probably strung out on coke and thought he was a genius or some shit. This didn't stop his story from moving Area 51 into the public spotlight, and ever since, Area 51 has been a major subject of hot debate among ufologists. Bob described the location of the part of the base that he worked at named S4, saying it was south of the actual base, embedded into the Papoose Mountains near the Papoose dried lake bed. Bob claimed that the government had 9 flying saucers there that ran on element 115 and could manipulate gravity and use it to travel across the universe. Bob Lazar's story is likely to be untrue, however he may not have been wrong when he said there was alien activity at Area 51.
There have been others that have came out and claimed they also have worked at the base and have validated Bob's claims while also increasing the depth of the story. One story that is credible is that of the eyewitnesses of the Roswell incident. In 1947, a flying saucer was reported by the U.S. military to have crashed in a field in Roswell, New Mexico, and the next day the military retracted the news from the papers, saying it was only a weather balloon. This is the most famous UFO incident in United States history, and according to witnesses, a UFO actually did crash in Roswell, and alien bodies were recovered in the wreckage. Military eyewitnesses claim that the saucer wreckage was taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and later moved to Area 51 at Groom Lake for testing. This story actually does lend credence to Area 51 studying and reverse engineering alien technology, and it is for that reason we continue to do research on the subject and anything else involving aliens. There is a ridiculous amount of other theories and rumors regarding Area 51, but for the sake of time, we'll include them in another video and get to the here and now.
This eventually gave rise to a controversial set of documents called the Majestic Quota, which you see here. These documents were supposedly signed by President Truman, but have been argued to be frauds. I find the documents interesting and the lure around them to be intriguing, but I have my doubts as to their authenticity. With the United States government, though, you can never be too certain. These documents were supposed to be describing a group of 12 men that worked with an alien at Area 51 they called J-Rod, and supposedly they were in charge of reverse engineering alien technology. Whether it's true or not, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. I personally just think they are too good to be true, and if they were real, the government never would have let these documents leak to the public. Back to you, Richard.
Since you guys now know some history behind Area 51 and why it matters, let's get into one of the real reasons that we're making this video. A fellow YouTube channel called Third Phase of Moon posted a video a couple months back on 2 man-made caves near Area 51 that he claimed may possibly be S4, specifically stating that this may actually validate Bob Lazar's claims. And we're here to explain why, according to Bob Lazar's specifications on the location of S4, there is no possible way in hell that this is S4. According to Third Phase of Moon, the location he believes that Bob Lazar was describing as S4 is actually west of Area 51, and Bob Lazar clearly stated that the location of S4 is south of Area 51 near the Papoose dried lake. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out north, south, east, and west. Anyway, what you're looking at right now is Area 51 on Google Earth. This is where Area 51 and all the alien technology and blah blah blah, you know, everything surrounding it, which is, by the way, most likely real. This is where it all goes down. Anyway, Bob Lazar claimed that S4 was south of Area 51. This way. This is south. We're looking to the north right now. North, south, east, west. And this is where third phase of moon claimed could possibly be S4. It looks nothing like what Bob described. And what's worse, you can't even get in there anymore. I mean, they closed it off.
And it's also to the west, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, this is right here, where he was claiming it could possibly be the location of S4. I'm not saying this may not be something significant. I'm not saying it, you know, couldn't have anything to do with aliens. I'm just saying it's not S4. If it was, it would be where Bob said it was, because Bob is the one who made up S4. This is probably a bunker or a mine, maybe. He did actually suggest in his video, Third Phase did, that this could be a place where they're mining minerals, but most likely it's not. If S4 exists, it's over here. I'll take you back to Area 51 first. Alright, we're back to Area 51. I'm going to turn it back so we're facing the north. And I'm going to take you to where S4 is right now. Where it's supposed to be.
That's if it's even real.
Yeah, if it's a thing.
Could be more of Bob's bullshit.
Right here would be where S4 is located. Now, just to give you an idea of the, you know, the geographical makeup of Area 51's location, these are the Papoose Mountains. This is the Papoose Dry Lake Bed. As you can see, Google Earth has labeled it. And this is where S4 supposedly is. If S4 does exist, this looks possibly like it could be what he described, maybe. Because it looks like this part of the mountain may be camouflaged in to camouflage the hangars like Bob said they were. He said they were 9 hangars that were camouflaged, each one containing a flying saucer. These right here are the only thing I could find at the base of the Papoose Mountain that could possibly even be anything close to S4. But I did find some other things near Area 51 and near where they test, you know, their nuclear detonations at that kind of look like they could be UFO landing sites, and they kind of look like they could be, you know, just maybe where they're testing radioactive alien technology. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to take you over there and show you some of these things that I found. But first, I just want to show something else. On top of the Papoose Mountain that I found very strange was this over here. I'm going to go right back to it. I'm not sure if this is security or something, but if, you know, if S4 was real, this could be as part of it, if by chance it actually was. I'm not saying that chance is very good. It's maybe like a 1% chance that it's real, if that. But there's a road that connects this to get down to the bottom, and Bob Lazar said that he was flown in on a Janet jet to Area 51 and then boarded off and got on a bus and was bussed down to S4. So there has to be some way for a bus to actually get down here. And there is a complicated thing of, you know, it kind of looks like it could be roads, but most likely it's not. It could just be water trails that came off the mountain when it rained, because it is a desert, and when it rains a lot. And these were once lakes and things around here. So, you know, a while back, this could have been a whole living area full of, you know, God knows what. And, you know, maybe the nuclear testing had something to do with why this is the way it is now, but that's the only possible chance that Area 51 could have a connection to this spot, and most likely, the road just goes only over to the craters and the testing sites. You have another place over here. I'm not sure what they were doing here. This doesn't look natural at all. I don't see any signs of activity there now, but what I did find signs of activity was over here by these craters, which I found kind of weird, because this is supposedly a nuclear testing site. Over here, you can actually see it's kind of amazing. All these craters over here, it's a ridiculous amount of craters supposedly from us testing nukes out here. And, you know, I measured one of these craters that I think is probably the most pronounced and the deepest into the ground. And that would be this one right here. This crater is 0.11 miles long, which is kind of strange. And it makes you wonder, because some of these don't even go that far in the ground. Some of these just look like, you know, they could be a landing site of a UFO. Like, it's very possible. Some of these are just shaped very strange, and, you know, there's stuff growing in them. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You know, if it's a nuclear bomb, there shouldn't be things growing there years later. The radiation should have killed everything off. And I'm gonna go and try and find one of those spots. There's actually quite a few, which is why I didn't bother marking them. They're around here, though. You can see the tree life. I think I might have to zoom in more. Right here. This right here. Look at this. There's a perfect circle. There is a little crater in the middle, but it's not that deep. And there's vegetation growing in here. These little things that look like they could be rocks are actually plant life that are managing to grow in radioactive territory. Makes no sense. And what is this? I've seen some weird things inside these craters too. Like, there's this one over here. I'll go back over to it. And it looks like it's got some weird goo in it. Like, what is this? It doesn't, if it's water, it doesn't look very healthy, and I don't know why there would be water protruding out of the ground in a spot that's obviously was nuked in the middle of a desert where every other lake is dry.
And why is it that only one of these craters seems to have any sort of water or liquid substance in it at all? That's kind of peculiar to me.
And what is this white stuff surrounding it? There's this white streak of, I don't even know what that is. I mean, maybe you guys can explain to us what you think it is. You know, maybe you know. Maybe you know something we don't. That would be nice to know. So, if you do, leave that in the comments section. This also looks like it could be another possible UFO landing site. The way that it's shaped around here, and the fact that there isn't a single crater in here. Unless this is supposed to be one giant crater, which I don't know why a giant crater wouldn't be a perfect circle, and why it would be, you know, cut right here. That looks more like something landed there, in my opinion. And, what do you think, Sid?
It's very obscene to me. I don't exactly think that's something man-made possibly could be. I highly doubt it. I really think that something possibly just crashed. I mean, we had sightings like the Roswell one, where apparently things crash and, you know, they do leave, you know, big landing sites. Which, in reality, that's probably what this is. I'm not 100% sure, and if you guys know, I think you should, you know, give us some insight, because we would really like to be positive on what this is.
That makes sense if it was a saucer that crashed, because, you know, the way it landed, it could have landed coming from this direction, and it could have left a little bit of a, you know, a streak behind, and that could be why it's shaped like this. It could make some sense, actually. Anyway, another thing that I found kind of strange was over here. Let me zoom back out for a second, go back to it.
Actually, also, why would that crater have a kind of a flat surface if you looked at it a little bit?
Yeah,
it was kind of like a flat bottom, and you would think, you know, from a bomb or you know, any sort of nuclear testing, it's gonna kind of spiral down in a way.
Yeah, that would be what you'd think. You'd think the mushroom cloud would definitely make it so it'd be more of a perfect circle than what that was. I don't even know how to explain that other than with the point. It kind of looked like a rounded arrowhead. But I also found this strange. There's what appear to be, I'm guessing, either the government doesn't clean up their debris after they test nukes, or this is actually activity in a radioactive field. If we zoom in here, these look like, you know, tanks containing some kind of fuel. I mean, I don't know what else they could be. There is stuff knocked down, and then there's this. This is obviously some kind of storage. What are they storing here? I mean, this could be chemicals that they're keeping out here. I mean, God knows what they're keeping out here. No, we have no idea. All we can do is speculate. But this looks strange. There's a building over here, you know, and then you got over another little weird airport-like thing. little bit over this ways. You know, there's a lot of weird activity out here. This isn't the airport. This is just more strange construction and activity, more weird buildings. Supposedly, this is a completely devastated area that has been devastated by nuclear bombs. But why would the government have people working in a radiation area? That makes no sense. This is the airport that I was talking about. I want to know what they're testing over here, because this is strange. They have a circle around it. Okay, I don't know what this is, but there's like a fence, as you can see clearly on Google Earth. And then supposedly this is an airport. There's a runway that you can see where things are landing in, but it's a very strange spot to have it, considering Area 51 is just over the the mountain. And what could they be testing here? It's just weird that they have this facility here. It doesn't even look like a normal airport. It looks like they do have a couple of hangars, but what is this terminal actually containing? We don't know. I honestly think this could be a spot that they've disguised as a mini airport, so people from satellites that are looking at it wouldn't guess that this is actually where they're probably testing the alien technology. This is probably where they're researching the flying saucer tech and whatever other alien tech that they can get their hands on. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys on Google Earth, and you guys get the picture about the strange crap going on out here. And it is definitely strange. I mean, the government is definitely doing some sketchy shit here. They're hiding something, and maybe one day we'll get some disclosure on this and we'll actually find out what's going on. I think we should go there and put our tax dollars to work and walk up to Area 51 and tell them, hey, we want to know what the hell's going on here. Us as a nation, we should do that. In other news, I'd like to touch on a phenomenon that is leading scientists at Cornell University baffled. These scientists seem to believe that we may have found an extraterrestrial probe the size of 2 Earths that is sending fast radio bursts to our planet. You heard right. An alien made 2 times the size of our planet probe. It is located 3 billion light years away in another galaxy. They named the phenomenon FRB 121102, and it is the only place in the cosmos that we have found that sends repeated radio bursts that seem like they were aimed for our planet, as though they were from some other civilization was trying to send us some message. And it happens over and over again. What's even crazier is that scientists are estimating these radio bursts to be billions of years old, meaning that whatever the race was that sent these bursts, they're either billions of years ahead of us, or way more advanced, or they're extinct, and the burst just now made it to us.
I personally find it to be highly unlikely that the race that sent these bursts is extinct, considering just how advanced they would have to be to have sent these bursts in the first place. It's such a massive size, too. It is amazing the times we're living in, and it's even more amazing that the government allowed us to be in on this finding, as well as, in general. Just the bursts themselves it's very unlikely they would want us to know this stuff. And they would do everything in their power, really, just to cover it up. I personally think this is just their way of giving us bits and pieces of information so they can, at some point, tell us forthright that we are not alone in the universe. NASA has doctored images and lied about it and has been caught in the process. We also believe, along with many others, that there is a delay in when NASA discovers things. They kind of, do things, and then they, tell us a long time after, like Pluto, and how Pluto was discovered as a planet.
Anyway, I want to finally show you guys, one more thing. It's a clip that I saw on MUFON's website. A woman who sent it into MUFON to be searched saw this UFO, looked like a ball of light, on September 28th, 2017, just a few days ago, over New Jersey. And according to the case file in the video, she was driving and saw a strange orb of light in the sky, I think the video is legitimate. Personally, I was unable to figure out what the object could possibly have been. If you guys have any idea what it is, or if you saw the same thing, please leave a comment on it and let us hear your thoughts on it. Anyway, here's the video.
As you can see, it's a very good piece of footage, especially since the woman who filmed it was driving at the time. Now, I wish the shots were more focused, but this video is still compelling nonetheless. Please let us know what you guys think in the comments, and that's all we have for today. Now please like, share, and hit the subscribe button, and make sure you tap the bell so you can get notifications whenever we put out a new video. We will try to upload a new video every day, or at least every other day. So you guys stay out of trouble, and we'll see you next video here at Alien Does. Heroes!